Thanks for staying with us. So on Thursdays, I'd like to bring fine women to come and hang out with the ladies of YourView. So today, joining us on the show is a fashion entrepreneur, producer, costume designer, and fashion designer. Yolanda Okereke in the building. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yo, I mean,
Good morning, everyone.
Good. So we know you, we've seen you as a fashion entrepreneur. You've been in this industry for a while. You've costumed so many amazing movies and jobs. Before we even get to the work you've done, let's start from the beginning. How did you convert what you studied to what you're doing? How did that happen? Could you just give us an insight to that?
Ooh, how did that happen? Nigeria happened. You go to school, you finish. Your dream is to work. I studied chemical engineering. Yep. I really wanted to work as a chemical engineer. So every time I drive past Chevron, I'm like, that's my office. That's my office. And then God said, no, that's not your office. So it was in my 4th year, I kind of picked up on fashion. And then from there, fashion designing, then somehow I just found myself as a stylist and found myself. So my journey is a journey of many chapters and very many layers. And then I found myself here. So I call myself a fashion engineer because I'm not going to throw that 5 years away out of the window.
At all.
But I think what I learned in school and what I did, all the processes I learned during IT has also helped me to be able to structure this part of costume designing and fashion. But it's such a broad area.
So, yes, because I was going to ask that there must have been like a bit of chemical engineering into the way that you do your styling, especially for movies. You know, a lot of us watch these amazing movies, and then for those of us that wait till the credits, we see your name, you know, and I just watched 7 Doors, and I saw your name. So tell us, you know, a lot of people, when they talk about the movie industry, just the acting, the producing, but just never the costume. What do you think about this industry that really you're like the face of? What do you think about how Nigeria looks at it, Nigerians see it, and do you think we have people like you? Do we have a potential to make it a standing industry on its own? What do you see in the future?
To answer your question, the future for costume designing is bright because I would say now, I'd walk into a room and somebody was like, oh, I know you. Meaning that, just like you said, you wait till the end credit. Most people don't wait till the end credit because most of us don't get it's called a single title card or opening credit when the movie starts and you see directed by, you see sound, you see costume. So if it's not there, most people don't wait till the end. True. But fashion is so broad. It's there's fashion designing, there's costume designing, there's been a stylist. It's very, 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 very broad. So I do have a lot of people telling me that, oh, I want to do this. And because most of us have been able to make this a career, and you've been successful in it, which has come with a lot of pain, that's come with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. So you're talking about movies like House of God, talking about movies like Blood Sisters, like 7 Doors. These are big projects. Far From Home. These are big projects that require your attention, that require
detail.
It's a lot of detail. And it's a lot of people. You're working with a whole lot of people. So when I feel like our movies have traveled as far as they can travel, so people can now see that I can make a career out of this. There was a time styling was not anything. When we started styling, hunger. Hunger. Just hold your style by. Hunger. I say, what is all this styled by? Styled by? No money. But then, here we are.
Yes, so let me
It's a journey of
ask you what it took you to get to the top. So it's one thing to be passionate about something. It's another thing to harness it in such a way that it just keeps taking you further and further and further. What are some of your work ethics? What are some of the things you've put in place that ensured you kept going up and getting recognition across board?
Passion. Passion. Number one.
Passion.
And at some point, I understood I was okay to fail. And at some point, I also understood that if you had to make something out of life, you have to keep digging. So look at because I did engineering. So to get to the petrol in the ground, you're going to have to keep digging. So the deeper you go in the ground before you can get to the crude. Same thing with diamonds and all of that. So for anything that it is that you're doing, you have to be persistent and you just keep doing it. Like I said I think I had an interview, person was like, oh, award winning. I said, it's so lovely how everybody says award winning. I never actually won an award. Person was like, what do you mean? I said, no, I'm nominated a lot. So maybe a lot of nominations, but I never really won an award. So my dad, I think I went home and I told my dad, but I was like, oh, because my dad and my friend were like, is how consistent you've been. So every year your name comes up. So in people's mind it's like,
she's won it. Wow.
But you just keep doing it. You're going to fail. So I feel, like I tell people, I feel more than I've won. I feel more than I've won. Like, it's hard. It's hard. The beautiful part of it is the final product that everybody sees. But the process, because the budgets. But then we're lucky that we now got the streaming platforms to now come in, and then the bigger budgets came. But the bigger the budget, the bigger the sacrifice, the bigger the demand, the bigger the expectation, the bigger the pain. Yes. Yeah. So I would say it's just been a journey of, I've always been very intentional as a child. And storytelling was something that I liked. Funny enough, backstory, I actually fancied myself being an actress. So I think I even started at one point.
You have the looks, darling.
But then I realized that even being an actress is hard.
Yes.
How do you take all those lines? And I was like, well, I said, I don't think I'm supposed to be in front of the camera. I think I'm supposed to be behind the camera making it happen. Yes, I love creating. So I think it's also something I harnessed as a child from like painting and cutting. I will cut anything I will see with the scissors. So, like, my dad's cutting is going to go.
So that's
the bed she's going to go.
That's so nice to hear. So with all this experience, like, you know, being on different platforms, with everything going on, it only makes sense for it to be the fashion principal on Showmax original fashion, you know, show. Yeah, it's called the Style Magnet.
Style Magnet.
So can you tell us your role there? What's the show about? I'm sure so many people have not even heard or watched before. So let's hear it.
That was what I thought until this weekend when a whole lot of people were like, oh, nice one, Style Magnet on Showmax. Oh, people watch Showmax. Oh, that's very interesting. So I think we're also at the point where we're all, as Nigerians, we enjoy consuming our own content. Yes. So Style Magnet is a show that's very passionate to my heart because of how it came about and the process of just filming it from start to finish. It's actually the idea of my friend Bisola Omolade. So she came up with this really brilliant idea. She had told me about the show over 5 years ago. And then it's one of those things, you have an idea, you just put it to bed. So it was last year, she just came when there's like, I'm doing the show. I say, hey, you're doing the show? She's like, yeah. And she's like, you're going to be on it. I said, as what? She's like, the person that be guiding, I said, fashion principal. I was like, oh, really? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Because in my mind, I'm like, she could have gotten anybody. Why would it be me? I know. So we had a moment. I think we went for Essence Festival in New Orleans, and we had a moment where we sat down and she broke down the show to me, and I saw what it could be. So, like Victor would say, the dreamer and the doer. And at some point, she allowed me to come in the capacity of a producer. And I'm like, okay, you run the creative on the set, because she's an amazing production and set designer. So all the set you saw was the same person that conceived the show. She built the entire set. She came up with all the colors. And also I said, okay, do that part, and then I'll just handle the talent. I'll handle the judges, because that's also my area. It's always best to be able to split it 50-50 that way, so we meet well in the middle. So, but the only thing she said is, no matter who you're trying to put on the panel, I want my Tafo. I want him to be the maestro, because there's no other person that would have done it the way Maya would have done it. And we went to meet Maya, and Maya's like, okay, we're going to do it. Then I said, what about the host? She's like, oh, I don't know. I said, what about Joseph's? Like, that's it. So that's how the three of us came together.
Wow.
And the show.
Fantastic. Well done. Let's go to a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.